Hey everybody, what's up? Wavejump here, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be covering Blockdata, except for I forgot to go ahead and update this title text. I updated the current subscriber count number, but I didn't update the other stuff because I'm really great at this. Don't worry about it. Anyways, well, this is what episode number is this actually? This is episode 16. Sorry that I didn't update that. So I'm going to be covering Blockdata. Now, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm not covering anything more than that, it's just because I don't know what else to cover, to be honest. So as always, let me know if there's something specific you want me to cover in a video, because I'd be happy to. But when 1.13 rolls around, then I will definitely be making a whole new series for that, especially because there's a huge amount of changes there, and there's going to have to be a lot of relearning to be done. Anyways, in this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to use the Blockdata command, how to go ahead and create this little beacon thing, and how to create locked chests as part of Blockdata. So the thing with Blockdata is Blockdata lets you go ahead and set certain data for blocks. Now it doesn't actually let you do a lot of stuff. Like for example, this right here wasn't done using Blockdata, but it was doing using what's called or just kind of item IDs. So I'm going to be covering kind of a bunch of different sort of block metadata type things, but also the Blockdata command itself, so that for example, you might think you could use Blockdata to change the color of a block like that, but you can't, at least from what I've been able to tell. In order to actually change it, or actually, let me see, I'm pretty sure, I'm like 98% sure. Let's double check here. If I run the Blockdata commands, it's not a data holder block, so we can't actually change that with Blockdata. So how does the Blockdata command work? Well, so first off, let's go ahead and type in /Blockdata. And you'll notice the Blockdata commands formatting is Blockdata XYZ and then data tag. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place down this chest, and I'm going to fill it up with some wool. I don't know, we'll do a couple of chests or something. And then we'll fill up the rest with, I don't know, red sand, right? Okay, so now we got our chest, and it's all full. But there's an issue. You accidentally press this button. You can't access it. It's locked now. So one of the cool things you can do with Blockdata is that you could lock chests. And that was accidental. Let me go ahead here and fix this part here. But yeah, in order to go ahead and lock chests, you would go ahead and just simply do this. So you go Blockdata, the block's location, and then in squiggly brackets or curly brackets or whatever you want to call them, you put lock with a capital L, colon, quotes, button. Or just whatever text you want there. Actually, it doesn't matter. It could be button, it could be anything else, and then you just run the command. You don't have to do it in the command block either. Now, one thing that I will say is that I just completely forgot what I was about to say. So if there's something important that I just remembered, I'll have to tell you in a minute. But yeah, you'll notice we can't open this. So, oh yeah, what I was going to say is that if you want more help with this weird formatting with squiggly brackets and all that, check out both my entity data videos and my telraw videos, because those are great. Those have great explanations as to how to use the curly brackets and quotes and all that. But yeah, nice. You can't open this even in creative mode. I'm right clicking. Actually, for me, it's left clicking because I don't like to use right click to right click on things. And it just won't open no matter what I do. Now, what I did is I took a piece of lime-stained glass and I named it button. What I'm going to grab a normal lime-stained glass. And if I just click on the chest, it'll just say chest is locked. I don't know, well, you can see that text, but it says it there anyways. If I go ahead though and switch over to this thing named button, and I click on it, there we go. Now, why does button open it? Well, it's because back in this command right here, under lock, we put in a parameter called button. Now, I notice we can go ahead and also type /Blockdata, grab the coordinates of the block and do 2 curly brackets. And if we just do it blank, you'll notice it'll go ahead and give me all of the information about the data tag of that chest. So for example, its locations, its item ID, the items inside of it, locks, etc. Now it won't show oftentimes, or it might not necessarily show possible tags that just aren't in place. So for example, oops, I did not mean to select where I'm currently standing. I meant to go and select that that block. Actually, no, right. So actually it did show items, ID, lock, all that. Here's what's interesting though. You can't change the X, Y, and Z, and you can't change items. They won't, or not items. You can't change ID. They won't do anything. Changing lock, all you have to do is just change those that blank set of quotes to have any sort of text in between it, and then it will go ahead and start working. I just got a Discord message, but ignore that right now. Anyways, you'll notice here, the next thing I have is a pretty interesting thing, which is I have a furnace that is just infinitely burning. And the way I did this was using your repeating command block. And what this does, it says block data, whatever, burn time is 10 seconds. So I could say, for example, change this to 20 seconds. Oops, I not 2 /0. That's not going to do anything. You notice it's not actually changing anything. Let's try changing this to 200 seconds to see if it changes anything. You know, there you go. It's I don't know. I just said no. But you notice it's a little bit farther up there. Let's say we change it to like 900 seconds. It'll go ahead and permanently shows there. Now, what's interesting though is if I were to grab an oak log and I were to have it go, I could take out. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's weird. I guess so. The burn time also depends on the fuel you have in there, because burn time of whatever it was, like 800 seconds or 900 seconds for coal, means that it still is a decent amount of fuel, whereas burn time of 900 seconds without anything in it will go ahead and give it infinite fuel, essentially. Kind of confusing, but it's just based on the way fuel works. Say we want to go ahead and change something else there. I could go block data, whatever. And let's change, for example, now that we have all this information, let's change the cook time. And let's set that to 1 second. And there you go. Now you notice cook time should be 1 second. You know what that does? It makes it so that it can never finish melting. It'll just constantly be at 1 second of smelting time. If I change this to 100 seconds, it's stuck right there. If I change this to, I don't know, 150 seconds, stuck right there. If I change it to 180 seconds, it's stuck right there. I think it's 200 seconds if I had to guess by this point that it's finished. But you'll notice even still, even though the arrow is completely done, it's not going to finish. If I change it to 201, let's see if anything happens. Nothing. And the reason why, you'll notice, if I look at the previous output section, it'll tell me whether or not it worked. And it actually, if you notice here, when I updated it to 201, and I checked that thing, actually, never mind, no, I'm just screwing things up. Say, let's try changing it to 500 seconds. Interesting. So basically, anything, if you're setting the cook time constantly, you're never going to get anything to smelt. Anyways, moving on here, we also go ahead and have, I believe, let's see, I don't know exactly how much to cover, but I want to go ahead and cover this thing right here. Now, this thing right here wasn't done using block data or anything, because it's not super easy to do that. I actually did this one using the set block command. So let me go ahead and show you how I do this. And actually, this is kind of a cool little demonstration. I don't know how smooth this looks for you. For me, it's in 60 frames per second for once, because basically this is all my game is rendering right now. But let me go ahead down to the command blocks for this so that you can see just how simple it is to do just that. So if I had done here, you'll notice I just have a couple of command blocks running on a loop with repeaters. And each of these command blocks says set block whatever Minecraft stained glass. And it's just a bunch of these essentially. And what you could also do is you could adjust the delays. For example, if you wanted there to be almost no delay, or a little bit less delay between those two, and then a little bit of delay between those, then, I don't know, no delay randomly here, it'll kind of look random and sporadic and just kind of weird. You know, so it changes at a random rate and then it randomly speeds up. Yeah, so that's a bit weird. But you go ahead and do that, and essentially all the commands that are in there, I should probably be showing you that part because that's the most important part, are set block. I think I already showed you this actually. The block location, and then stained glass. And then after stained glass, you add a number. And that number will go ahead and give you the block, a type of block data essentially. And you'll notice here, by the way, this is the block I'm changing. But, you know, say for example, I were to pick up a couple of these blocks, purple, green, white, you know, I don't know, magenta. Then you'll notice if I go ahead and mouse over each of these, and you might not see this information normally, by the way, if you want to see this information, because typically when you mouse over it, you just see green stained glass. Press, I believe it's F3 and H. F3H. You'll notice I go back to normal, but if I press F3H now, now my game looks right for me because I use this all the time and it looks weird to me if a game doesn't have these enabled. But anyways, yeah, notice for example, green stained glass is 13. Yellow stained glass is 4, pinks is 6, you know, whatever, that's 9. So it'll go ahead and just fill it using that item ID. 0, by the way, is white in this case, and you can go ahead and do this with all sorts of other blocks. For example, trees have different variants depending on the type of wood and where the wood is facing. So, you know, there's all sorts of little information that you wouldn't probably think about. I'm trying to figure out here if I have any of these other ones set weirdly. Really quick here. Oh, this one is. By the way, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, go and leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. So consider supporting me on Patreon, like the amazing Shatter and Bete Noir. Go ahead and just pay me a little bit every month. That helps keep the channel going, and helps me to go ahead and save up towards getting a new computer, because you may be able to tell, you may not be able to tell, but my computer often lags out. You may just be able to tell actually from the quality of the video. You'll see. Sometimes I get like 3 frames per second in a video. Sometimes I'll get like, you know, up to 59. But anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.